Very sorry. We really appreciate, Mr. Bays, your attempt at trying, and thank you very much for the effort and the energy you put.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you experienced a strange or unusual phenomenon in your home, please tell us. Some of you will be put on the air live, so call us now, please.
Next, psychic surgery exposed on Exploring Psychic Powers live.
This is Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, France. It's one of the most famous cemeteries in all of Europe. Certainly more important people are buried here than anywhere else in the world. Frédéric Chopin, Oscar Wilde, Gertrude Stein and Edith Piaf, even American rock star Jim Morrison, and many more. This is the tomb of French spiritualist Allan Kardec. In 1856, Kardec wrote the Book of Spirits, which became the Bible of spiritualism. He believed in reincarnation and was the first to define poltergeists. Since his death, Kardec has become the object of fanatical hero worship, as his flower-covered grave attests. To this day, people come to Kardec's tomb, like that woman over there, hoping they can contact his spirit. Which leads us to the grave of another man whose name has become associated with the spirit world, Italian painter Amedeo Modigliani. One of Kardec's disciples, a Brazilian medium named Gasparetto, claims to be in touch with Modigliani today. Halfway around the globe in Brazil, one of the most fertile areas for paranormal activity in the world, Gasparetto claims Modigliani is still able to paint through his hands, 70 years after the artist's death. Is Gasparetto really communicating with Modigliani? Are these paintings truly the work of a departed master? Or is Gasparetto a talented forger passing off his own art as that of Modigliani?
With us now is Dr. Alberto Villoldo. He's an author, a professor at San Francisco State University, and one of the world's foremost investigators of psychic surgery and psychic healing. Now, Doctor, you studied witch doctors, psychic surgeons, psychic healers, especially in Brazil. Do you really believe psychic surgery and psychic healing work?
You know, it is difficult to dismiss these things altogether. The will to heal, in other words, the power of the mind in healing, appears to play an important part. And perhaps this is what the healers do best. They get the patients to heal themselves.
All right, I know that you brought some footage which was filmed in Brazil, and what you're about to see could be upsetting to some of you, so please be forewarned. All right, Doctor, will you please tell us about the clip?
One of the many healers I have studied in Brazil is this man, Dr. Edson Queiroz, a licensed medical doctor who performs psychic surgery on patients whom Western medicine has given up. In an altered state, Dr. Edson claims that the spirit of the German physician, Dr. Adolf Fritz, returns to perform extraordinary operations without using anesthesia, antiseptics, and sometimes even using a rusty surgical knife. Dr. Edson is removing syringe needles from the chest of a heart patient whom he claims feels no pain. Dr. Edson is illustrating the extraordinary capabilities that we all have to heal ourselves and others, and to control pain and infection without the use of drugs, and also to tap the wisdom of the body to create extraordinary states of health. Here, Dr. Edson is taking my hand and rubbing it on the surgical incision to demonstrate his claim there's no danger from infection. Dr. Edson does not charge money for his services. Now you're about to see a sleight-of-hand artist who will attempt to convince you through a very unscientific demonstration to dismiss this whole phenomena of psychic healing. Do not be fooled by these parlor tricks. Also, do not forget that the mind has an extraordinary power to heal the body. In the same way that we create psychosomatic disease, we can also create psychosomatic health.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Villoldo. And let's now go to James Randi for his response.
I really can't say that I disagree with Dr. Viola on some of his comments, but these are not parlor tricks. If they're parlor tricks, they're very deadly ones. I have a volunteer from the audience here who has agreed to come up here and place himself on the table. Would you remove your shirt first, please, sir? And we're going to do a demonstration of so-called psychic surgery as it is practiced in the Philippines. Now, if you just plunk your head right out there, this is how it looks. It looks a little bit gory at first, so please don't be too shocked by it. It's simply done like this. Now, this is the kind of operation that is done in the Philippines and which, in the long run, cost comedian Peter Sellers his very life. Because he went to the Philippines believing that he was being operated on and that tumors and such were being removed from his body. In actuality, of course, it is nothing more than sleight of hand, though the hand does appear to penetrate the body. Dreadful things indeed. Hold on there, Rocky. We're right with you. And, of course, I need not tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that these substances are, as the analysis usually shows, chicken and other animal parts. Nothing more than that, and yet people go off to the Philippines by the tens of thousands and depend upon so-called psychic surgery, psychic healing, and they return to their countries to die. Rocky, I want to thank you very much. You deserve a big round of applause for coming up here. I do think you can get up now. Thank you. And Rocky, if I were you, I would...
Concentrate on this card. It's your last chance to vote in the National ESP test. Just dial the number next to the shape you see. Callers will be charged $2 per call. Next, the $100,000 Psychometry Challenge and the results of the National ESP test on Exploring Psychic Powers. Live.
We invited a number of people to make predictions prior to our broadcast tonight, and some who are well-known, like Gene Dixon, refused. Others who are not so well-known, like our prediction challengers, agreed. They are Joseph Shea from New York and Sharon Sand from Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, none of their predictions came true, but in some cases, they weren't far off.
That's right. Sharon Sand predicted that 2 U.S. Navy planes would be involved in a major accident together in the San Diego area on May 26th. Regrettably, 2 Marine Corps helicopters did collide in the Reno area. However, the accident occurred 48 hours later than predicted on May 28th. Not in the right place, not on the right date.
Joseph Shea predicted earthquakes in 4 cities: Punta Arenas, Chile, Tokyo, Los Angeles, and Hindu Kush, India. On April 24th, there were earthquakes in 3 of those cities. However, they were 12 to 24 hours later than predicted, and one of the quakes was in Punta Arenas, Costa Rica, not Chile.
We can conclude our brief examination of predictions with this observation. In the week prior to this show, it is especially interesting to note that no one, well-known or unknown, predicted the unspeakable bloodshed in China, the death of the Ayatollah Khomeini, or the horrible explosion and train wreck in Russia, which claimed over 800 lives. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
ESP challenger Valerie Swan had a chance to read all 250 ESP cards. Well, now, Valerie, I know it's been a very long test. How do you feel?
It was exhausting.
But you're okay now, I hope.
Yeah.
All right, good. Valerie's responses have been recorded. Now, Dr. Krippner, please, what are the results?
Valerie correctly identified the shape on the reverse side of 50 cards, but she needed 82 to win, so she did not meet the challenge.
Oh, Valerie, I'm sorry. You worked so hard tonight. Thank you for being here, and thanking you for being on the Psychic Show. Thank you.
And now for the results of the National ESP test. Most of you saw the wavy lines, 42%. Here are the other percentages. 11% saw the star, 16% the square, 21% the circle, and 10% the plus. 42% saw the wavy lines. Now, in previous tests like this one, it's been established that most people would tend to select a star from among these 5 shapes. Let's see what's actually on the card. Dr. Krippner? You have the only key to the padlock, and you've been holding on to it since we began the test, correct?
That's right. And here is the card.
Ladies and gentlemen, the card that most of you chose is the square. And as we revealed moments ago, a certain percentage of the audience, 16% of the audience, saw the square, but the winner by far was the wavy lines. Incorrect.
Our final $100,000 psychic challenge tonight involves psychometry, the ability to read people by picking up vibrations and signals from things that they have had in their possession. Now, prior to the broadcast, we collected watches and key rings from a number of volunteers who swear they do not know and have never met our psychometry challenger. All of the objects have been inspected to make sure they're free of any marks, initials, or symbols which might identify their owners. The challenger's job is to match each of the watches we gave her with the corresponding key ring owned by the same person. She does this, we're told, by receiving psychic messages from the objects themselves. Psychometry challenger Sharon McFarland Straz is 38 years old, married, and the mother of 2 children. She comes to us from St. Louis, attended the University of Washington in Seattle, and says she learned that she had psychic powers 14 years ago during a psychic reading. Today, she's a professional psychic and metaphysician. Now, these are the people whose watches and rings are on the table. And Sharon has fastened the watches and the key rings together with a twist tie. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please step forward and claim your watches and tell us if your keys are attached. Sharon, I must ask you, was it very difficult for you to put these together, or?
No, Bill, it wasn't. It was rather easy.
Easy.
Yeah.
Comes with the
I'm
talent.
hoping that it worked out okay.
All right. Now, Sharon, you need 9. We got to get all the rest of them here. Is this yours, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. We need 9 out of 12 to win. So, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you found your watches correctly matched your keys? Could we see it by a show of hands? 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm sorry, that's only 2 out of 12. And Sharon, you needed 10 out of 12. But thank you. I'm sorry you're unable to prove your powers as a commentator today, but thanks for accepting the challenge. You did a lot of work, and we appreciate it.
This is your last chance to tell us if you experienced a strange or unusual phenomena in your homes during this show. Some of you will be put on the air live, so call us right now.
Next, the results of Uri Geller's attempt to create a disturbance in your home on Exploring Psychic Powers. Live.
Earlier, psychic Uri Geller stood on the stage and claimed that the power of his mind would make strange things occur tonight. During this broadcast, in homes all over the world, thousands of viewers have called in to report such disturbances. Now, Geller claims he caused those disturbances. Randy claims they're coincidental. From those responding, we've selected several callers at random. Randy and Uri are talking to them right now, and let's find out exactly what happened.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now? Yeah, talk louder because I can't hear you.
Hi, my name is Shelley.
Okay, hi Sharon. Where are you calling from?
Quakertown, Pennsylvania.
Okay, tell me what happened.
My clock that hasn't worked for 6 years that I didn't know that my husband had taken apart and saw that the motor was ruined is now running and has been running for 40 minutes.
And he really took it apart and then he put it back again.
He said he didn't put it all back together, only part of it.
So you mean it's now ticking with missing parts?
Yep.
That's great, you see? And just keep it up. Keep it up and it'll tick forever. Now just tell me, is your husband a watchmaker?
No, he's not. He's a diesel mechanic.
Very good. Good. I just want to correct something that people, you don't think that I did it with the power of my mind. I triggered it in you. You actually did it. Okay, thank you very much for calling us.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Sharon. Hello? Yes, can you speak louder, please? Where are you calling from?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, and what's your name?
Pat.
Can you just tell me your full name so nobody will think that, you know, you guys been paid by me to call.
Okay,
What's your
Pat.
full name?
Pat Holt.
And where do you live? Give me your address, quickly.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, now what happened to you?
We had a 27-inch color television that hasn't worked for a year.
Yes.
No color, no sound, wouldn't even turn on. And after you came on, I plugged it in. It works perfectly.
You asked $27. Give it away to charity. Now listen, you didn't kick the television, did you?
No, I didn't, but we tried to kick it to get it to work before.
And it didn't. And it
You're
started tonight.
wonderful.
That's great, because so many skeptics, like Randy, say, well, if you shake the watch, or if you kick the watch, or you warm the oil, or God knows what, then it'll start ticking. I say, well, yes, maybe there are some watches that do start ticking because you shake them. But even out of those thousands of phone calls tonight, even if one watch started ticking with a powerful mind, that really validates it to me. Now, next call. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, let me try to get you telepathically. Hello? Okay, all right. Next call. Hello? We're going to maybe I caused a disturbance in the telephone lines. All right.
All right, gentlemen, I'm sorry. I'm afraid we are running out of time. Now, we've heard what the callers had to say, those that get through to us. It seems incredible to me. Now, Randy, what do you have to say?
So this is the astounding feat that Mr. Geller offers as proof of his wonderful psychic powers. Last Saturday morning, listeners to Phoenix radio station KSLX were treated to a similar performance by psychic Massimo Polidoro from Milan, Italy. Mr. Polidoro told the audience, as Mr. Geller did tonight, that wondrous things would occur in their homes as he put forth supernatural vibrations. Let's listen to some brief reports by the amazed listeners who called in.
We've got Massimo Polidoro from Milan, Italy. He is a kinetic psychic, and let's go to the phone. Hi, KSLX.
Hello, my name's Bob. My cat, it's pawing at the radio right now, standing with its hair on edge. I've never seen behavior like this in my life.
Hi, KSLX. Is something strange happening at your house?
Hi, this may really sound silly, but I have a clock my mom gave me. It's an antique clock. It hadn't worked when she gave it to me, but it's a family clock, and it started ticking. I mean, it's making that tick-tock noise back and forth.
Hi, KSLX. Anything weird going on where you are?
Yeah, I'm at work, and we're reprocessing artificial kidneys, and the reprocessing machine started backing up foam out of the sink.
Tammy's on the phone live with us right now.
Okay, I walked out into my kitchen. I have a clock that's battery-operated, and when I looked up at the clock, it said 8 o'clock, and it's still ticking, and it was on time before.
And you just went in there just like recently? Because right now it's 8:23.
Well, the only problem here is that Mr. Polidoro is a colleague of mine who has as much psychic power as a piece of shirt cardboard. Over a period of only 30 minutes, reacting to suggestions that any anomaly at all would be due to psychic influence, listeners to that station called in and reported things that they ordinarily would not have even noticed. We thank the folks at KSLX for proving our point for us, and I rest my case.
Well, thank you, Randy and Uri. You have time now to make one final remark. Uri?
Okay, my remark is, it's history-making. We are on the same stage today. You didn't believe that, and I did it. Now, my response is this. I said that everyone can do it because we all have psychic powers. Sure. And you just proved it with your colleague.
Right.
Bless you all out there.
All right, stay with us. We'll return in a moment with a final observation by the amazing Randy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the psychic powers are so heavy this evening that I apparently made an error. It was not the square that most of you voted for. It was the wavy lines, just in case you got the wrong impression. Now, we have not proven much this evening in the way of whether or not psychic powers really exist. What we have established is that the people who came here were brave enough to be tested. We congratulate them for their bravery, and we thank them very much for their attendance. You see, you can't prove a negative. I don't try to prove a negative. They are supposed to be trying to prove a positive. Suppose I wanted to find out if reindeer for Santa Claus could fly. I suggest we take 1,000 of them up on top of the World Trade Center. One at a time, after numbering them, we step to the edge and we say, ready with number 1, make notes. Push. Write down for number 1, no, 0, okay? Number 2. Not too good either. Number 2, no. Now, we could go on with all of that sort of thing, and ladies and gentlemen, what would we have proven? We would only have proven that these 1,000 reindeer on this occasion either could not fly or chose not to. If they chose not to, we know something about their IQ, too. It's been a lot of fun tonight. Thank you for being with us, and good night, Bill.
Good night, Randy. And 2 final notes. All of tonight's challengers participated in the design of their tests, and they agreed, excuse me, in advance to the test protocol. And whenever a random decision was required by the test protocol, those decisions were made simply by tossing a coin. So thank you, James Randi, Uri Geller, Sylvia Brown, Bob McCoy, Alberto Vialdo, and all the $100,000 psychic challengers. And good night, ladies and gentlemen.